What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about two of the best ways to get started selling on Amazon. It's going to be online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. We're going to talk about what those models look like, and we're going to compare the pros and cons, and at the end I'm going to share which one of those selling processes I think looks better. Arbitrage is one of the best ways to get started. Some people will do wholesale or private label eventually, but most people are going to be getting started with one of these two arbitrage models. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, the number one way that I recommend getting started selling on Amazon is going to be retail arbitrage. So what exactly is retail arbitrage? Well, arbitrage is just the process of finding discrepancies in marketplace prices and using those to make a profit. So when we do retail arbitrage, we are going into stores looking for products that may be on clearance, or they're just selling for less than they are in another marketplace, and then we're using that price discrepancy to make our profit. Typically, people will go to stores like Walmart, for example, hit up the clearance section, they'll start scanning products, and they're looking for things that are selling for more on Amazon than they are that they can buy them for. And when you're doing that process, that is retail arbitrage. And within that, there's a couple different ways that you can try to get started. A lot of people will get started with books, and that's kind of even its own category. It is a form of retail arbitrage if you're going to be doing cherry picking, but I think books is a great way to get started because you're going to be able to focus on really high ROI products. But besides books, I also really highly recommend getting started at a place like Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, any kind of dollar store in your area. And a common theme that I saw there was high ROI items, and it's also low risk because you're only spending about $1 on each of your products. So it's a great way to learn the systems without exposing yourself to too much risk. Now, with retail arbitrage, it's going to be a little bit different for the types of tools that you need to have versus online arbitrage. One that you're going to need for both of them, and you're going to need this with whatever method you are selling on Amazon, and that's going to be Keepa. Now, I have a whole other video related to how to use Keepa, and I'll link that up here. But basically, Keepa is going to show you all the history for almost any item on Amazon. It's going to allow you to see how fast an item is selling and also what price point you're going to be able to sell the product for. I think this tool is an absolute must. It's about $20 a month, depending on what the current exchange rates are, because it is a foreign company. Besides Keepa, there are some other apps that you can use that are kind of nice to have, but not necessarily required. So you do need some kind of scanning app, but you can just use the free Amazon Seller Central app to get started. But once you have enough capital and you want to start paying for paid scanning apps, there are a few that I would recommend. When I first started, I started using one called Profit Bandit, and I think it's about $10 a month. It's not one that I think provides a ton more data than the Seller Central app, but it is an option. One that I personally use if I'm ever doing any kind of retail arbitrage is Scoutify 2. This is a scanning app where it has profitability checkers in it. You can check restrictions. You can build in a add-on directly to Keepa so that you can check the Keepa graphs. And this one costs $50 a month, but it comes with your Inventory Lab subscription. So if you pay for Inventory Lab, you automatically get Scoutify 2 included in that. So I also recommend getting Inventory Lab once you can afford it, because one, that'll come with your scanning app, so you don't have to pay for two different things, and also because it's going to make your listing process so much faster, and it's also going to allow you to do all of your bookkeeping. It's worth every single penny. I highly recommend getting Inventory Lab as soon as you can afford it. Another tool that can be really helpful for retail arbitrage and even online arbitrage in some capacities is going to be BrickSeek. This is basically a subscription that you can pay for, and it will allow you to see all of the markdowns on stores. So it helps you to see clearance prices even when they might not even be marked in the store yet. They do have a free version, but you can pretty much only check inventory with that. If you want to be able to see clearance prices in store, you have to start paying for the subscription. They have a $9.99 plan and I believe a $29.99 plan. With the $29.99 you get some more features, but you'll also get to be notified about those deals earlier than the people who just pay for the $10 a month. And which plan you should get, and even if this is a good tool for you, is going to depend on how many stores are you going to. You know, if you're going to Walmart's every day of the week, you should probably get that extreme plan at $30 a month. But if you're just kind of passively doing retail arbitrage, maybe that $10 a month plan is going to be what's good for you. The other good method to get started with arbitrage is online arbitrage. This is the same process as retail arbitrage, going into stores, finding products, except instead of going into those stores, with online arbitrage, you're going to be ordering the products online. So we're finding big box retailers normally, but we're going to their websites and finding products that you can flip there. I think OA is a little bit more tricky. I personally struggled with it for a while, and I think the main reason is because you're not able to actually physically see the product beforehand, so that's why I recommend starting with RA over OA. You're going to need a few different tools when you're doing online arbitrage. One that's still absolutely required in my opinion is going to be Keepa. You need Keepa to be able to see price history, sales rank, and a whole bunch of other data. Another free tool that you can use is DS Amazon Quick View, and this is an extension that's going to show you the rank, number of FBA sellers, and if Amazon is selling on the listing. And then another one that's free that you should definitely be using, even if you're not an Amazon seller, everyone should be using this. It is Rakuten. It's a Chrome extension where every time you check out on a website, they're going to give you cash back for every single purchase. And I highly recommend using that. Another one that you're gonna want to get soon, it's not required, but what you want to get as soon as you can afford it, is RevSeller. It's about $100 a month, and basically what it does is it shows you the profitability for every product on Amazon when you're doing online arbitrage. If you can't afford that to start, you can use the free Amazon FBA calculator, but I do recommend getting RevSeller as soon as you can afford it. It's about $100 a year. You could use a tool called Scout. This one comes with your inventory lab. It's basically Scoutify, except it's the web version. So that's another way that you could check profitability if you have an inventory lab, but you can't yet afford RevSeller. Seller Amp is another one that I like to use a lot. This one has a ton of features that I'm honestly not super knowledgeable about. But what I like to use it for is to speed up manual sourcing. It's a Chrome extension, and you can activate the extension and it will automatically pull up an Amazon page based on the item that you're looking at on the big box retailer's website. I also recommend getting IP Alert whenever you can afford that. It's basically a Chrome extension where if you're on an Amazon product page and the brand is known to file IP alerts, a big warning will pop up. So this can really help with protecting your account health and making sure that you're not getting IP complaints on the items that you're selling. So in summary, I think retail arbitrage is an excellent way to get started selling on Amazon. It's how I started. It's how almost every seller that I know actually got started. But eventually you're going to find it to be limiting. You know, driving around all the stores, hoping that Brickseek is accurate, hoping that you're going to be able to find the products to sell, but you could end up just wasting your time. Online arbitrage is going to allow you to drastically increase your spend and get more inventory. Growing your Amazon business really just boils down to being able to spend more money on inventory, and I think online arbitrage is an excellent way to do that. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the difference between RA and OA and my opinion on which one you should use for your business. If you did find value out of this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you in the next video.